and then I went to sleep. When I woke up the next morning, like the bed was just full blood, my dress full with blood, and I was like, what is happening? Hello beautiful people. So if you've been here for a while, you clearly know that I love reproductive health. Like if there's a certain section in nursing that I'm really passionate about is reproductive health. And so just yesterday I was thinking about the period talk. Like, did you guys ever have that period talk either at school or at home? And like, what was your experience during the first time you had your period? And like, what was the view of periods like when you were growing up? Because like everyone has a different story about that. And so today I'll be giving my own story about my first day, and also like how I used to view periods before it even started. Yeah. If you're new here, my name is Lesodor, and I do help nursing students to get through nursing school. I also talk about self-development, reproductive health, and I also do vlogs. So if that is something you're interested in, make sure you click on that subscribe button and hit on that bell so that you don't miss any other video when I post it. And before I start, this beanie that I'm wearing, if you are interested in any of these, any color that you want, I do make them. Yeah, I actually do make them. Like I started crocheting a month ago, and I've been doing it, and I've been like selling, and it's so interesting. So if you guys are interested in you call it Marvin, you call it beanie, if you're interested in it, you can DM me using this number below, or you can like check my crocheting page, is Howie Crochets. You can check it and you can order. Number one is period talk. So for me, I never heard about that when I was at home. The place that I was taught about the periods was in school. When I was in primary school, when you used to have visitors come to your school, talk to you about periods, like let's say people from Always come talk to you about periods, then they give you free pads. So that is the place where I got the period talk. So how it used to happen, they come, then those students, I think it was from class 4 or class 5 to class 8, you're called in a certain room, then they talk to you about periods, then they show you how to put on pads. I never used to take it serious. I think it's because I used to think that maybe because I haven't started my periods, like I still have time to learn, so I never used to take it serious. By the time they're teaching like about it up there, I'm down here like we're telling stories, we're just making jokes. Yeah. And I remember like I was amongst the few who, like I was in class 8, and I was amongst the few who haven't yet started their periods. And some people used to call me Toto, or you're still young, or you still, like they used to feel like you still don't, the fact that you haven't started your period, you still don't know life. I don't know why, but I just needed someone to be there and tell me like it's normal for you to have not started it the same time as your fellow students. Like you can start it earlier on, or you can start it later on, and it's still okay. You can start it at class 6 or at form 2, like it's still okay. So people used to pressure me a lot, like, why haven't you started your period? Like, I don't know, like it's not a big deal. Yeah. So the only problem I used to have about that school period talk was the fact that we had to hide it from the other students, which are the boys. We had to hide it from the boys. So I remember they used to tell us, after you have been given those pads, they used to tell us to hide it. Like you hide it below your sweater. Like, let's say this is the pad. Let's say this is the pad you've been given. So you hide it like this below your sweater. Then you run and then put it inside your bag without the boys seeing it. And I'm like, why are we hiding? Like, is it a sickness? Is it a mistake that you're having these periods? Like, why are we hiding it? So I remember this one time, there's this boy was like, he asked me like, what are those you're being given? And then another girl told me, tell him it's biscuits. So I'm like, what do you mean biscuits? So anytime like we used to be given those pads, you hide it, and if someone asks you what you're having, you say biscuits or mkate. So it's either biscuits or it's bread. So the problem with that is that the boys never learned about like the period. Like they never learned that it's a normal thing, because you made them feel like it's something that's supposed to be hidden. So the problem came in when you as a girl, you got your period when you're in class. There was this lady, for her, like she used to like have her period, like I don't know, I remember like there's someone who told me like she used to use mattresses as a pad. So you can imagine using a mattress. You know, for a mattress, anytime you just move like this, like it has already like moved and like you are messing your pants, yeah. So every time she used to have a period, everyone used to know, because when she stands up maybe to go to the washroom or maybe to go and answer a question in the blackboard, every time she stands up, she used to mess her dress. And like the dress we used to have, it used to be almost light blue and white, so everyone will know that that is blood. So every time she's passing like in between the lockers, so everyone is laughing at her. And I know it used to be so traumatizing for her. Number one, because I think she could not buy those pads. That's why she was using the mattress, yeah. So I know it was so traumatizing, the fact that you cannot buy it and the fact that everyone is laughing about it. It was so sad. And you know, the majority of people who are laughing about it were boys. And it's because for them, like, they don't know it's a normal thing, yeah. It was, oh my God, that was so sad. But for us, luckily, there was this teacher. I think his name was it Mr. Mwangi? Mr. Mwangi or something. Like, where you are, may God bless you. He used to have spare dresses. So anytime you mess your dress, you go to him. He gives you another dress. And then when you go back home, you'll wash it and return it back, so that anytime another girl messes their dress, they'll have to be given the spare dress. And that was like so amazing. So from this experience of what I used to see happening, this made me so scared. Like, I was scared of the first time I'll have my period, because I used to wonder, what if I'll be in class and I'll mess my dress? What if I'll be somewhere in church and I mess my dress? What if I'll be somewhere like playing and then I mess my dress and everyone starts laughing at me? So you can imagine being traumatized even before you start experiencing it. Like, how sad is that? Like, you're traumatized even before you start experiencing it. So this is how my first day happened. So it started like the previous day. Like in the evening when you were still playing, I went to the washroom. And then after peeing, I saw something like blood. But then I was like, hey, why am I bleeding? Like, is there something wrong with me? But then I ignored it, and then I continued playing. And then in the evening, like, I took a shower, I took supper, and then I went to sleep. When I woke up the next morning, like, the bed was just full blood. My dress full with blood. And I was like, what is happening? My periods are here. Because I was so sure these are periods. Like, they were told, like, periods, this is how it happens, this is how it looks. So I was so sure this is the day these are my periods. And because I already had a certain feeling the previous day, like when I saw that blood, I was like, what if it's periods? So I already had a certain feeling the previous day. So when it happened that morning when I woke up, I was so sure my periods have come. So what am I going to do? So I was so scared, because at that time I'd already finished my class 8, so we were just at home. But that was the lucky part, because if I was in school or somewhere else, I think I could have had trauma. So the lucky part was that I was at home. So I did not know how to even explain it to my mom. So I just stood there by the washroom, waiting for her to wake up to come and tell me what to do. Because when people are being taught on what to do, I never used to concentrate. So I just stood there by the door for I don't know how many hours. When she woke up, she was like, Kwani, what's wrong with you? Nini nakufanya? Mbona umesimama hapo? And I was like, niko na damu. Like, I'm seeing blood on my pants. And she was like, that might be period. Do you know how to put on pads? And I'm like, no. And you were taught. She told me, do you have pads? I was like, yes, because I had almost a full suitcase, because every time that people are being given these pads, I was just keeping mine in a certain box because I was not using them. So I just took out one and I gave it to her, and she showed me how to put it on, and that was it. So that was the time that I learned about it, and from that day, that is how I started my periods. After a few months, we went to high school, and so for high school, I learned about cramps. Like, for me, I never had those painful cramps. But then when I went to high school, whoa. I used to see girls roll on the floor. Some of them used to even cry because they have period cramps. And this is something like I never knew used to happen until I went to high school. And I was like, damn, that is the first time I heard about Buscopan. Like, me, I never knew people had that much pain until they used to take medication. And in high school, we also used to have students who used mattresses as pads. Like for them, there was this student, I think there was one day she was caught. For her, she used to cut other people's mattresses. Like she just used a razor blade and then like tear somewhere on your mattress and then like cut a piece, and then that is what she uses as pad. Some people used to use the same one, like after using it, they wash it, then they like place it on the sun to dry, and then they reuse it. Oh my god. So me and some of my friends, we started a certain project. We were in a certain group called Junior Achievers. So we started a certain project when we were in high school. It was about creating reusable pads. I think we used to call it repad stasis, if I can remember. We used to call it repad stasis or something. So we started a certain project of making reusable pads. So we used to make cotton pads, because for the mattress, if you're using the mattress, you can imagine the mattress is so thick, and then it's not so wide to be able to cover like your whole the whole area, you know. So even if you place it in the middle, these other sides, it's so easy to leak, and then because it's so thick, it's so uncomfortable. So we thought of, if people have to like have want to reuse, let's make it a little bit comfortable and easier for them. So we created this project Repad Stasis, though it never went so far because we never had the finances to be able to make it something big. Like I wish one day we can even meet again and like make this project, bring it to reality in such a way that we have sponsors who are helping us to distribute them. I know this is something that people are doing, but then they're not doing it everywhere. Yeah, I know it's a project that already exists, but it's not being done every other place. So because of the finances, we even changed that project and we started doing other different things. But then that was our main one. Like it was something that I was really passionate about, that if I had the finances and I had the capability, like I would have really like done it to like nationwide way, like to be able to even distribute it to schools in other counties, and to be able to even distribute those pads to other countries. Like if I had the possibility, like I would have done it really well. Like I was really into it. I remember even like the competition we had about the projects, we won. Well, our school was located in Kisumu, so we won Kisumu County, and then we were taken for nationals in Nairobi. But then when we got to Nairobi, we could not go ahead because this project was being taken, I think it was it in US or something. And then I'm so sure like when you get to win in Kenya and then you're taken into into maybe US or Europe, I can't remember where the winning school used to go, but somewhere US. So when you're taken to US, you'll be able to get sponsors for that project, and then when you come back to Kenya, you can be able to like dig deep into it. But then we did not win, so that was the end of that project. Says like it was a really nice idea. And because most of my viewers, I think almost 30 to 40% are teenagers, the first thing I'd like to tell you is take it easy on your friends who haven't started their periods yet. Like stop pressuring them, the time will come. Like this can really affect me. I think it has affected me up until college. Like it really affected my self-esteem. The fact that I used to think I'm different, like it has really affected me. So stop pressuring people, like the time will come. Yeah, and it doesn't mean you're special only because yours came earlier on. It doesn't mean you are any more special. Please. And then if you're in high school mostly, and if you can, in any way you can, please help those other students who can't be able to afford pads. Like it's really sad that you are in the same room with someone and they're using a mattress. You can just, let's say you're in a certain room and you're like 6 of you, and then there's one of you can't afford a sanitary pad. You can always carry one extra, because I know like for most of you, if you are able to buy it, there's a possibility that you can buy one extra. You can just agree to buy one extra, each one of you, and then like you give it to her. Like you just don't know how amazing that can feel for that student. You just don't know what a relief that will be, because imagine you can't even concentrate in class if you have a mattress like in your part. Like you can't concentrate. Like I just don't even want to imagine it. But if you can always help that one student, even if like I wish people could start a certain project whereby you just pick, like everyone can remove even 2 pieces of pads in their boxes, and then you get someone just collects them, and then you have a certain students usually come and pick them. Like people should just start certain projects like that. And then for most of the company, I know some companies usually try a lot to do like to give pads for free, but you know this doesn't happen every other month. Like they can't give you pads for free from January to December. Yeah. And lastly, let's maintain hygiene, not only during periods, every other time. As a lady, make sure you maintain hygiene. Take a shower. Make sure you change your pads frequently. Don't have the same pad from morning to night. Like change your pads frequently, and take a shower like in the morning and in the evening, especially when you are in your periods. Take a shower in the morning and in the evening, and maintain hygiene, and teach other girls about what you already know. Like I'm so sure the people who live somewhere like in the rural area, like they've never heard about how to like clean yourself as a girl, like to avoid douching, to wipe yourself from front to back, how to use your pads, like as a girl, how you should take showers like in the morning and the evening, especially on your periods. Like the people who've like never heard about it and you've met in school. So this is how like education should be able to change us. Like use the information you already have to help other people. Yeah, so that was it for today. Like if you have any other video suggestion, especially when it comes to reproductive health or sex, you can leave it down in the comment section and tell me what you'd like me to talk about. And before we finish, just a reminder, if you need anything crochet, even if it's a top or a skirt or a scarf, anything that can be made with the yarn, you can DM me, or you can use my number below and I'll be able to make it for you. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye bye.